Hi, welcome back to Best Drink Recipes. I'm Eli Mountjoy, and for our next review, we're going to do something special. We are going to review champagne. Now, this was turned on to us by a friend of ours here at Best Drink Recipes, Mackay Block of Elevated Clothing, and we have to say, it's rather good. This is Le Medallion, or if you prefer the American accent, Le Medallion, Brut and Rose Champagne. And these, like every other champagne, have to be produced from a certain region in France. Now, what we do know is that this has been around for more than 200 years. The vineyard was established in 1788. So we're going to review first the Brut and then the Rosé. First, I have to say, I like the Medallion. So, without further ado, Le Medallion Brut. Now, for those that have never really opened or are unfamiliar with opening a bottle of champagne, sometimes it's under pressure. So when I take off this top wire, I will always hold a thumb down on top of the cork because it could pop off. In fact, that's happened to me before. And if you want, you can use a bar towel or a napkin or something and put it on top of it. But if not, what I like to do is always hold the label out. The idea is to take the cork out without it doing a big pop, unless of course you've won some championship and you want to spray this all over everybody. But I will suggest taking this with your middle finger, holding the punt of the bottle, they call it, and slowly twisting and releasing it. The breath. Now, traditionally, this will either be poured into a flute or, in our case, the coupe. And we want to bank it off the side so that we don't make this flat or otherwise ruin the carbonation for those who are about to drink this. I will hold it about an inch away and gently rock and pour this in. And the more I pour in, the more I can flatten it out. Twist off. Le Medallion Brut. Smells nice and dry. Very nice. You see this golden color, and the bubbles are pushing upwards as they should. This is nice and dry. This is as a Brut should be. A Brut is not overly sweet, like the sister, the Rosé, which should probably be a little sweeter. I prefer the Bruts because I don't like my stuff very sweet, but this is nice. Now, as I taste this, I get a lot of grapefruit, slight citrus. It's slightly bitter. It's definitely not over sweet. But I also just get kind of a tropical Hawaiian, that ocean foam, that breeze that comes through the beach. I don't know, I'm just kind of riffing here from what I'm getting from this. It's a free flavor. It's not weighed down, it's not overly sweet. This Brut contains 70% Pinot Noir, 30% Chardonnay. You can really feel the Chardonnay come through on this. There's a lot of kind of buttery, oily finish on this. Kind of coats your throat, coats your mouth. Okay, now let's move on to the Rosé, which is 100% Pinot Noir. Same thing. We will remove the foil. Twist off. Keep it down. And exhale. That's nice. Le Medallion Rosé. Okay, upon initial smelling, it's much sweeter. I would say it's a little more vinegar, a little more fruit forward. Definitely more fruit in there. Strawberry, kiwi, even some melon I can find within this. It's nice. I like it very much. All right, now why don't we segue into making some cocktails. One with a rosé, one with a brut, and we can show you how you will be able to use some of these champagnes in a cocktail that you can make at home. Our first champagne cocktail is going to be made with Le Medaillon Rosé. And we're going to make the classic French 75, which of course got its name from the World War I, when the French had a big gun called the French 75. And they named it after that because it gave such a big, resounding boom. And this drink really, I guess, impacted people that might really associate it with that boom. And that's because we're using an ounce of gin. You can also use cognac since it's a French 75. We're going to use half an ounce of freshly squeezed lemon, followed by half an ounce of simple syrup. And we're going to put in 2 to 3 ounces, depending on your preference, of, in this case, Le Medaillon Rosé. We're also going to garnish with lemon twist. So why don't we first build this cocktail in our shaker. First, we're going to use gin, 1 ounce in this case. Next, half an ounce each of the lemon and the simple syrup. And we're going to put some ice, shake it up, and of course then after add our bubbly, because if we do it in here, it will explode everywhere and become a sticky mess. So first, just our liquors, our citrus, and our sweetener. We're going to need some ice. Let's get that now. Let's shake it up. Great. Now before I strain this into our coupe, I'm going to add 2 ounces. If you want to add 3, that's okay, of our rosé. And I'm going to do it now so that it kind of evenly distributes itself throughout our cocktail as we pour it, so that you get a real nice mixture. We're going to use our fine strainer and pour it into our coupe. Now followed by our lemon twist garnish. I'm going to coil this up kind of like a cobra. Give it a little squeeze so that it retains its form in the drink. There we go. Le Medallion French 75. Let's try it. Very balanced. Not too sweet. Not too dry. Very nice, in fact. The citrus lands just right. This is something I could drink on the regular. This is one I recommend. Le Medaillon French 75. Cheers. Our next cocktail is going to be the Airmail. We're going to use Le Medaillon Brut for that, followed by 1 ounce of aged rum and half an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, half an ounce of honey, and you can do an optional twist. We're going to put it in since we have it. If you don't have it, that's fine. And we're going to put it into our coupe here, and we will build this cocktail in our shaker. So first, with the aged rum, then half an ounce each of the honey and the lime. And let's add some ice and shake it, and then we will add our brut. I'm going to add 2 ounces of Le Medallion Brut. You can add 3, but keep in mind it's going to change the flavor of your cocktail, and you will also need a larger coupe than the 5 ounce that we have here. And we will double strain. And our twist garnish. And there we have Le Medallion Airmail. Let's try this. Very dry. Not too fruit forward. Not too sweet at all. In fact, this is, I would say, more of a sour drink. I like this though. I could do quite a few of these and probably not have quite such a hangover in the morning because there's not so much sweetness. It's nice. I will also recommend to you the Le Medallion Airmail. Cheers. And that is Le Medaillon Champagne, both the Rosé and the Brut. And hopefully we've showed you a couple of cool cocktails that you can make with that, as well as its ability to stand it alone and just drinking it. And we thank our friend again, Makai Block of Elevated Clothing, for turning us on to this beautiful champagne. And if you see this anywhere, either in the stores or at a bar, it's beautiful by itself or in these cocktails. So thank you for joining us again at Best Drink Recipes. I'm Eli Mountjoy. We look forward to seeing you next drink.